All right, how to design a bird sculpture. First off, here's the bird sculpture, my finished bird sculpture. This is what it looks like if it's hanging up and it's above your head. This is what it looks like from the side. Kind of cute and silly. And this is what it looks like if you're looking down on it. So, this is my finished bird sculpture, and here's how I created it. First off, you have to create the pattern, and I have these little cards that are about 7 inches tall and about 11 inches wide that I cut from poster board. So I folded this one in half and I drew the silhouette of the bird here. Now, because it's cut in half, when I cut it out, I'm going to cut through both pieces so that I have 2 bird silhouettes. It cuts through both pieces, so I end up with 2 bird silhouettes. And this piece is the tummy panel. Sorry, this is the tummy panel. So the way you design this tummy panel, not the tail, just the tummy and the bottom of the beak, is you got to kind of line up the shoulder with the shoulder of the bird and just make a tapering line that comes to a point here. And then you have to taper it off here, and this will be the bottom of the beak, and you just taper it off so it's about even, going almost to the top of the head. So what happens when you cut this out is you get a little tummy panel. I'll show you. You open it up, and this is the bottom of the beak, and this is where the tummy is. And you will, I mean, you have to approximate, but if you just line up where it swells out with the shoulder of the bird and where it tapers off at the bottom with the tail of the bird and where it tapers off at the top with the top of the head of the bird, this will be about right to fit in here. Okay? So that's how you create the tummy panel and the left and right panel of the silhouette of the bird. As far as the wings and the tail go, so this is what the tail looks like. These are what the wings look like. And what you're going to do is you're going to take another one of those cards. You're going to fold it in half. You draw one wing on here. And when you cut it out, you end up with 2 wings because it's folded in half. And you cut through both halves, like so. And as for the tail, well, the tail looks like this. It's got kind of fans out. So what you do is you draw it against the edge like that. And when you cut it out, make it fan out and come up tapered to a point. And when you cut it out, it will, when it unfolds, be the shape of the tail. So let me just show you all the pieces. Here's the tummy panel. Here's this side and this side. And this is the tail. And then these are the 2 wings. And as you can see, there's sort of an extra fold here as a flap that ends up when you sew it to the bird. Anyway, so this is basically the pattern that you will need to create. And you have to draw it yourself based on the type of bird you want. So it doesn't have to look like this. It could be a bird with, say, a parrot beak instead of a pointy beak. You know, so you have a lot of variations depending on the type of bird that you want to design. So this is a slightly different bird, you know, and so if I were you, I would look at pictures of birds and kind of see what you want to design. You know, you could make it a duck, you could make it a swan with a longer neck. You have to figure that out. But usually you're going to need 2 of these cards, and you're going to fold them in half. Now, the way you tape them together is you kind of line up the edges and you just tape them together. And if the tummy panel tapers at the end and there's a little extra space, that's fine because you just tape these 2 sides together. And the same with the beak panel. If it tapers a little bit, you're going to see it's roughly that size. So you just taper it out and you kind of bend it so it's edge to edge. Tape it all together to make sure that it looks right. And you might have to tweak the design if the proportions are a little off, or take it apart or trim some paper. But that's how you would design the pattern. And I'm going to take you through the entire process from pattern to finished little bird design.